Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
As the court pleases, my lord, the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Host stood down to today.
Yes.
He is present, my lord, and he's got the information that was requested by Advocate Numalo and Advocate Nshololo.
Yes.
Those are the section 205s for the two numbers.
Yes.
And the information can be made available. We just need a memory, a USB, my lord, from whoever wants to have that information. Advocate Nshololo informed me that in addition to the two numbers, she wants section 205s on all the numbers that were mentioned by Colonel Steyn in his evidence. And Colonel Host has indicated that he will be able to gather all that information.
In his computer.
Now, the question is, how long will it take for the information to be provided and for the defense to go through, to trawl through that information? Colonel Host indicated that he will need about 2 days. That is now regarding this additional information for all the numbers for Advocate Nshololo. But for the two numbers that were specifically requested, that information can be provided now, my lord. So, as far as the evidence of Colonel Host is concerned, we will perhaps ask that the evidence stand down until about Friday. Firstly, for the defense to go through the data regarding the two numbers that they asked for, the numbers of accused number 2 and 5. And as far as the additional information requested by Advocate Nshololo, we'll hear from them as to how much time they require. So for today, we can carry on with Sergeant Mola and let the evidence of Colonel Steyn stand down.
Yeah, Mr. Host, can I hear your response?
Good morning, my lord.
Morning.
Yes, I've got the cell phone data of accused 2 and 5, the numbers that was requested. I've got some other 205s also. Not all the numbers, but I've got certain numbers that we managed to get to 205. So, but I've got some 205s that I've got, yes.
And do you have access to your colleagues, former colleagues' database?
Yes, that's Colonel Steyn. So that's where we got all the other 205s. We're still looking to get all the numbers that we.
So you need some time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Friday, is it too soon for you, or do you prefer?
Friday, when it's up to the court, I'll if I need to be ready, I'll be ready. I'll try.
Why don't you postpone it to Monday? Because it is the state which is lax, or the defense which is lax. It's not Mr. Host's problem. I mean, he gave evidence, and you, Mr. Baloyi, said, or Mr. Numalo said, he doesn't have some section 205 documents. Is that?
Yes,
am I correct, sir?
Yes, Monday is in order, my lord.
Yeah, Monday.
Maybe if I can just clarify on my case, the 205 records that I'm requesting, I'm not requesting from this witness host, I'm requesting it from the respective service providers. The normal section 205 records, the state is aware of that, not from the witness, my lord.
Mr. Baloyi, do you hear that?
Well, the service provider provides it to the police. So that information has been provided to the police as he can provide that information. But we have taken note of what Advocate Nshololo says.
Do you hear the response, ma'am?
Yes.
And my lord, also to add on what the state has submitted regarding my request, the numbers that were alleged to have been linked with my client, it was Colonel Steyn who testified about them last year, my lord.
Yeah, but the point is, you didn't cross-examine Colonel Steyn then. It's unfair. As you know, wait, it's unfair. Colonel Steyn, when did he testify? Which month last year?
I think about August.
August last year.
Yeah. No, we must be fair. Fairness cuts both ways. Kenneth Steyn came here, testified. He was taken through cross-examination. Now we need additional information from Kenneth Steyn. And Kenneth Steyn is retired.
My Lord, I did put that question to Kenneth Steyn.
Yeah, fine, and then he responded to you.
I have not been supplied since Kenneth Steyn finished testifying. Since then, my Lord.
Okay, so you take 8 months. Because if you put it to Kenneth Steyn in August, you go to Baloyi in September, you say, hey, where is the information I requested from Steyn? October, where is the information? November, hey, where's the information? December, January, February, March.
Yes, I've been waiting, my Lord.
That's how council acts.
I've been waiting, my Lord.
But you never did that.
I've been waiting for 8 months. I've waited.
Sir, they say 8 months. You haven't provided the information they requested you to provide to them.
Well, we indicated, my Lord, that we did provide the information on a disk in October of last year, but they've since indicated that they cannot decipher that information, and there is an exercise that Colonel Host will be going through to try and isolate those numbers and then give the information to them.
And the other aspect, as I understand the law, the state requested through Section 205 certain information on numbers from the service provider.
Yes.
You've got that.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Mshololo says he wants to subpoena the service provider. Am I quoting you correct, ma'am? To provide the numbers, whichever numbers. You want them from the service provider, not from the state. Did I hear you correctly?
No, my Lord, I think we're not on the same
No,
page.
I listen. You want us to play this thing like Mr. Nisi said we must play. You said you want the 205 numbers from the service provider. I'm listening. Didn't you say that?
My Lord, I said that.
Yes.
If the
So
state...
wait. So if you said that, it's unfair to say to the state, it must provide that information because you want it from the service provider, and the state, in respect of their case, which they are trying to prove, they have got the 205 application documents which were supplied to them by the service provider. Now, you need additional, that's what you're saying.
It's not an additional, my Lord. My Lord, if the state says, I have been provided with Section 205, let that 205 be beamed here. Let the court see that Section 205, let's proceed with the witness.
Okay, fine. So
I can proceed with
fine, no problem. So you don't require additional evidence from the service providers.
It's not additional. It's the original. I haven't received any Section 205. And if the state says...
We're talking at cross
If the state says, I'm in possession, then it means we can proceed. The state can beam that Section 205 then. Today, now, if they are saying, I am in possession of...
Okay, so now let me put this. If you want additional information from the service provider, you are free to do it. There's no problem.
No, madam, I don't want additional. I have not received any records.
Okay. Mr. Baloyi.
Please, I think for the way forward, my Lord, as we suggested, the matter can, as far as Colonel Horse is concerned, can stand down until Monday. Today, he will provide the data that was requested for the 2 numbers, and for the other 6 numbers or so for the client of Advocate Mshololo. He'll make his best endeavors to provide that information by Friday.
Okay, fine.
And we can then take it from there.
Yes, your comments. Okay, I'll come to you, Mr. Mtololo. Your comments, Mr. Mgomezu.
No submission.
No submission. Yes, Mr. Miyaki.
No submission.
My Lord, in addition to my request in respect of the 2 numbers, I also request that I provided with the affidavit of the investigation officer requesting the records in terms of Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Secondly, I also...
Wait. Let's take it slow. Do you have the affidavit, as he says?
That's a normal process, my Lord. We can provide that information.
You didn't provide them?
Well, it should have form part of the information that was, given to them.
Okay, affidavits from the service providers. Is it one service provider, Vodacom, or even?
Yeah, it's
only Vodacom.
It's Vodacom.
Okay, yeah, and what, Mr. Norman?
So is that affidavit by the investigation officer? That is number one. I also request.
Who's the investigation officer now?
It's Gininda.
Gininda?
Yeah, name of
Who
Gininda.
has those records? Is it Gininda or the service
Gininda.
provider?
In fact, part of that information is already on record. We'll recall that when Mushwana testified, he mentioned that Colonel Boonstra requested the Section 205s, the very same day. The defense is sitting with that
so they've got,
information.
Mr. Numa has got what he wants now.
Yes, part of that information, yes.
No.
What else do you want, sir?
No, my lord, I don't have the affidavit.
You have nothing?
I don't have the affidavit of Rhoqo Gininda. I don't have the affidavit of the service provider to say that it did receive the request from Rhoqo Gininda. And my lord, I must state it clearly that I did not receive any records. In respect of the two numbers. I did not at all.
Just give me the two numbers so that I can follow up next time when you say the two numbers. I've got to have them here. Which numbers are those?
It's 079
079
379
379
0137.
0137. Right, and which number? Second number?
The second number. Medical claim. It's 071
071
595
595
1239.
1239.
So,
Okay.
What I'm requesting, my lord, to be clear, I request an affidavit from Rhoqo Gininda.
Affidavit from Gininda.
Yes, requesting that the service provider analyze and provide the police with the records in terms of Section 205.
Okay.
And I also need that, because this application is also approved by a magistrate, so I also need that
Which application is
information.
that now? 205.
Yes.
You need a magistrate to do what now?
Who approved the application, my lord? The application is forwarded to a magistrate. Then he approves, he signs.
So what do you want from him?
So it's part of the application.
Yeah, what do you want from the magistrate because he signed?
It's an order. It's an order, my lord. That.
Do you have that order, sir?
My lord, it's part of the Section 205 process. It starts with the affidavit by the investigating officer,
Right.
then it goes to the prosecutor,
Right.
who then puts it before the magistrate, and the
Right.
magistrate then authorizes that.
That's it.
That is what they are asking for, my lord.
Yes, I know. Yes, Mr. Mshololo, what else do you need?
No, my lord, I was saying if the state has the 205 record in respect of my client, let me proceed with cross-examination with this witness.
No, but what else do you need from the state?
It's exactly the same thing, the state that is saying I am in possession of that. Then if that is the case, let's proceed. Let the state beam the Section 205. I can
In
proceed
respect of
today.
your client.
In respect of my client, let
What
the
is your
state
client-
beam
yeah,
that Section 205. I can proceed with the cross-examination today for all my numbers that are linked to
How
my
many
client.
numbers? 3.
There are 6.
6 numbers.
Yes.
Do you have that information, sir?
I thought we've moved away because that argument by Mr. Mshololo is not very helpful, with the greatest of respect. We've indicated that to resolve the issue, we provide information on the 2 numbers requested when we adjourned. We'll provide it now, and the additional 6 numbers will be provided by Friday, and we then take it from there. I thought we've
Is that the
then
arrangement now?
moved a step further.
Mr. Mshololo, is that...
If my lord, the state is saying I will be provided on Friday, then it means I don't have it right now. That's why I was saying if the state has it, then let's proceed. So if they're saying they will be made available to me, my lord, on Friday or in future dates, then it means it's confirmed that I'm not in possession of those records.
Okay, so you need for 6 or 8 numbers. Is it 6 or 8?
The numbers, I think a witness will help me because it's the numbers that is included in his affidavit, and he has testified about those numbers that are linked to my client. There are those 2 numbers which were said they've been in those SIM cards they've been in a silo number, and then there are those numbers that you have said they've been verified through XDR, something like that, and those are 6 numbers. I think the witness understands them very well. Yes, my lord, they are
You
contained.
can't remember them.
They are contained
list of
on.
numbers, I'm sure.
I don't know all the numbers,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I can go
Okay,
for
fine.
the numbers I've got.
All right,
They are
fine.
on page 30, my lord, of the affidavit of
Okay.
this witness, paragraph 24.
Page 30, paragraph 24. Fine.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But I'm ready to proceed, my lord. If the state is in possession of those section 205, let them beam them today, now. I'll proceed with the cross-examination.
Okay, I'm ready to listen. Mr. Stenographer, I'm sorry, your surname is? Bokwane. Do you have that contraption which we had to play? Yes. Mr. Host, I'm sorry, I called you voter. I know a voter host. You know him, he's in the South African police. He used to be a security general when we were still doing those cases of the ANC, blah, 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 blah. Okay, just to put it on record, because this is important according to me, Mr. Nisi yesterday conceded that you were correct in the evidence you gave when you said the center of the communication was vested on the number of accused number 5 and vice versa.
That's correct.
And then he put it to you that he never said that. He said accused number 2's number was the one which was the central number. Well, yesterday he said he concedes that you are correct. But you know we've got to be fair. Do you accept that, Mr. so that I'm not the only one who heard it?
Indeed, that's what Advocate Nisi said.
Mr. Ramosipini?
As the court pleases, indeed so, it was said by Mr.
Mr. Ngumezulu?
I confirm.
Miyeki, you were not there.
Yeah, I was present, my lord.
Oh, you're
That-
present.
that-
You confirm
that
it?
is correct, I confirm.
Mr.
That is correct, I confirm.
Miss
Yes, my lord, I confirm also.
Right. These things go with reputational damage, as you know, as all of us know. If it's publicized, as it was publicized in this court and outside, that voter, as they quoted it, voter was excoriated to say that he's changing his version, as it was put. But this court has got to mention that there has been a concession, a full confession by, or confirmation by Mr. Nisi that you were correct. Do you still, after that, want us to play the record of the proceedings? Because we have obtained an amplified speaker which can beam what you said.
My lord, if it was on record and it's confirmed, I'm satisfied if the court is satisfied. Thank you.
Fine. Okay, you'll take that ICJ contraption to the Chief Justice. So, okay, you're excused until Monday, ne? Are we correct?
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Right.
Ngisakhumbula ke ukuthi namuhla bekufanele ukuthi ke kubuya yena ke ukuthi uFinalizing host ngodaba ke ebekukhulunywe ngalo noma bekudingidiwe kwiveki elendlule kodwa ke izolo uadvocate Mnisi uye wasukuma enkantolo wavuma ke ukuthi ngempela yena wenze iphutha noma wenza iphutha uma ethi cha ufakazi akakaze athi unumber 5 noma kwakunokuxhumana phakathi kwa number 5 kanye nawo konke amanye amanamba kodwa uadvocate Mnisi yena wathi cha ufakazi uthe number 2 kodwa izolo ke uvumile ukuthi cha uyena owenza iphutha inkantolo ibisimchazela ke uKenneth Host ukuthi impela lokho kwenzekile base bevuma ke nabanye oadvocate futhi ke okunye manje ngoba kunesicelo futhi ukuthi ke kunalamanamba amabili acelwayo uKennel host ukuthi ke enze ama section 205 noma alethe ama 205 wawo ngempela ke kuyavunywa ukuthi ukwenzile lokho useyacela ke futhi ukwengeza kulokho ke uadvocate Mshololo ukuthi ke kunamanye ama number awachazileke kumbiko noma kwi report akhulume ngawo uthe uma ehlanganisa ke lawo ama number angaba u6 aphathelene naye umsolwa wesihlanu uyacela ke futhi ukuthi naleyo mniningwane leyo ayithole ayilethelwe ngoba ke ufakazi lobo obethulwe uyena uKennel Stein kunyaka ondlule ngoAugust uma singenzi iphutha uthi ke nanjengoba yena ke sekuyena ke manje othathe umsebenzi ka Kennel Stein ucela elinye ithuba ke futhi ukuthi ayohlanganisa lokho bese kuthi ke ngolesihlanu uzozama ukuthi aqede konke lokho abese yena uyabuya ke ngomsombuluko kodwa kamanje ngabe kuqhutshwe kwake ngabo ubufakazi bakhe uSergeant Mukhula.
Okay, yes, let's hear Mr. Baloi.
As God please, my Lord, we can then continue with the cross-examination of Sergeant Mukhula.
She present?
Yeah, she just went outside.
Yeah, okay. It's a matter of interest. Lieutenant Holmes, where do you live?
In Roodepoort, my lord.
Oh, yeah, so you're our neighbor. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe you come out of town. When I say out of town, I mean the province also. So you are just at Roodepoort?
Yes.
What is it? 1 hour from there, from here. Okay. Okay. Under oath, ma'am.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Maramusipi.
Thank you, my lord. That's it. Morning, Sergeant Mukhula.
Morning. Counsel.
Can you proceed?
I just wanted to do this because she's asking me to assist her, so I said I don't want to touch it, okay, to everyone saying something.
I will already proceed.
Yes, my lord.
Now, yesterday when we adjourned, I was about to touch on the evidence regarding the J50s that were executed on the 26th of October 2022 and the arrest of all the accused persons before court. But before I do that, I just want to revisit clarification on this aspect. When case 636 was allocated to your team in 2018, there was also another docket 375 of 07-2019. Are you aware of that docket?
Yes, my lord, I am aware of the other dockets.
Uma ke siyaqala le 636 selinikezwa ke ithimba lenu kwakunelinye ke noma kunelinye ke idokodo eliku 375 ka 2019 ngabe uyalazini yebo ngiyalazi.
And as part of familiarizing yourself with the case in general, not a specific docket, would I be correct that you also familiarized yourself with 375 as well as docket 636 of 2014 and so on?
No, my lord, I did not familiarize myself, my lord, with the phosphorus case 375.
Kulokho ngibuza kona ke ukuthi uma sesibheka ke noma sifuna ukuthi ke benolwazi ngeqala ngibheke ke u636 no375 cha u375 yena angizange ngimbheke.
Okay. Now let's go to what was put to you yesterday by my learned colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu. He referred you to two affidavits that were deposed to by Brigadier Gininda, a colonel at the time, or he was still a brigadier, I'm not sure about the title then. But he deposed two affidavits in support of the J50s to the magistrate at Boksburg Magistrate Court, A227 and A198. You remember those documents that were shown to you?
Yes, my lord, I remember the documents.
Ngiyakhumbula ke le statement ezimbili ebengibuze ngazo izolo ke umthimba wemezulu zakhe uBrigadier Gininda u-A227 no-A198.
Because yesterday you said the questions pertaining to those affidavits should be directed to Brigadier Gininda. My question will then be, on the investigations conducted by your team and the gist of why we are here, the theory of the state's case as per the investigations led by your team, you are aware of that theory, especially pertaining to accused number 2, correct?
I'm not sure what you mean by theory, my lord.
Let me give it to you this way. According to the investigations that were conducted by your team, and as specified in this affidavit, especially 198 of Brigadier Gininda, he mentions all the accused persons, their profiles, how they are linked to this offense. That is the theory of how they are linked to this offense. Now, with respect to accused number 2, the theory is this, or the investigation led to this. 1, that accused number 1 was, I keep on saying accused number 2, I'm sorry. Accused number 2 was linked to the offense, the commission of the offense, 1, via utterances made to private individuals about his involvement in the case.
That's correct.
Kuyiqiniswa-ke ukuthi ngokwalo mbiko ke noma le statement esenziwe uyena-ke uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi uma echaza-ke ukubandakanyeka kwabasolwa bonke, okokuqala number 2 ngokuthi ngey'nkulumo azenza kuba ebantwini abathize.
2, by the clothing he was wearing, that is a black hoodie.
That's correct.
Okwesibili-ke ngaloko owayegqokile okwakuyihudi emnyama noma eyayimnyama.
And 3, via the identity kit, that is Exhibit J, compiled by Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp of the Facial Recognition Unit of the SAPS.
That's correct, am I aware?
Okwesithathu-ke yebo ngiyazi ukuthi-ke nangomdwebo-ke noma lokhu kubizwa ngokuthi-ke identity kit Exhibit J owawenziwe uyena-ke u-Amanda osebenza emaphoyiseni.
And over and above that, by the description of the people that were in the house at the time of the commission of the offense, and in particular, by the dog identification by Zandile Khumalo and by Tumelo Madala.
I'm not sure about the dog identification.
Futhi-ke nangendlela-ke achazwa ngayo abantu-ke ababesendlini, futhi-ke nala enkantolo wase ekhonjwa-ke abantu ababili, uTumelo Madlala noZandile Khumalo, uthi kumayelana nalokho-ke cha anginaso-ke isiqiniseko.
Let me rephrase this one of the dog identification. Let me say, by the description furnished or provided by the people or some of the people that were in the house on the night the incident occurred.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniswa ukuthi nangendlela-ke achazwa ngayo ngabantu-ke ababesendlini ngalelo langa lelo lesigameko.
Now, from that is what I meant by the theory regarding the linkage of accused number 2 to the commission of the offense. Now, with regard to that evidence, what has been led so far, and I'll deal with that at Syria team, is the evidence of the people that were in the house, and the fact that, and I'm telling you that as a fact, Tumelo Madala and Zandile Khumalo identified accused number 2 here in the dock as the second suspect that entered the house that night during the incident on the 26th of October 2014.
That's correct.
Lokhu kona-ke ngiyakutshela-ke ngingangabazi-ke ukuthi yinto eyenzeka khona la enkantolo ukuthi uTumelo Madlala noZandile Khumalo bathi-ke uma bemilana bethola ubufakazi babo-ke bamkhomba umsolwa wesibili nanjengomuntu-ke lo owesibili kulaba abangena endlini ngaloba busuku. Kuyiqiniso lokho?
That is because I was probably here in court when they gave evidence. It's not something that I was briefed by Brigadier Gininda.
Kungoba-ke noma ngathi-ke lokho kungoba-ke ngangila enkantolo-ke nkathi bethula ubufakazi babo hayi ukuthi ngatshelwa-ke uBrigadier Gininda.
And the one that I want to deal with now is the identification kit that was compiled by Warrant Officer Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp on the 29th, if I'm correct, of October 2014. So I'm going to request my learned colleagues to assist me with giving of, I think it's Exhibit J. And if you can also have this document that deals with the facial analysis recognition, it's A46.
I got it.
You got it. Thank you. Now, before we go to the identity kit itself, but let it remain there. My Lord, I beg leave to, just for background purposes, to praise the witness of what's contained in this affidavit. If I may read, it's only 2 pages there of page 4 and 5. Thank you, my Lord. And on the blue part it says, case 636, 2014, phosphorus, murder and robbery. Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp do hereby make oath and state that on Monday 2014, 10/29, I was called out to phosphorus detectives accompanied by Lieutenant Colonel M.J. Streicher, Operational Commander, Procedural, LCRC, to interview witnesses in case 676, I'm reading it as is, my Lord, 676, 10/2014, phosphorus, murder and robbery. I interviewed several witnesses individually. My first witness was Kelly Khumalo. Kelly told me, in short, that she and the deceased walked to the convenience store. Upon return, Kelly, deceased and family member and friends had a smoke outside the house. Ms. Khumalo called them inside to say goodbye. They sit down and start chatting again. Kelly was sitting near the kitchen when she saw 2 unknown African males entering the house. Suspect A appeared very aggressive and demanded cell phones and money. This suspect approached Kelly and the deceased jumped up towards suspect A. A scuffle between suspect A and the deceased started. The next moment, Kelly heard 2 gunshots. She gave the following description: African male, in his 20s, dark brown shiny complexion, dreadlocks hairstyle, no scars, no facial hair, golden insert in upper teeth, language, local Zulu. He was wearing a brown jacket with a wooden collar. He was not clean in appearance. Suspect A entered the house first. He was armed with an old black revolver. Kelly could not describe the second suspect. After the compilation, she was satisfied with the ID kit. She compiled the face with the headgear. The second witness was Kelly's sister, Zandile Khumalo. She told a similar version and gave a similar profile and facial description of suspect A. The only feature she adds was eyebrows. She saw the eyebrows when suspect A lost this headgear during the scuffling with the deceased. She could not describe the second suspect. The third person interviewed was Tumelo Madala, who was much traumatized. He saw the scuffling between suspect A and the deceased. After hearing the gunshot, he ran off to one of the rooms. He gave a similar description of suspect A. I showed him Kelly and a sister's compilation, and he was satisfied with the identity kit. He could not compile the second suspect. The fourth witness was Mr. L.S. Twala. He gave a similar description of what happened on the scene. He saw a scuffling between suspect A and the deceased. After hearing the shots, he ran out to look for help. He could not describe the second suspect. Page 5. The fifth witness, Mr. T. Makalede, residing at Muzamo 3942, compiled the face of suspect B. He saw 3 unknown African males in the vicinity of the gas station, busy on the cell phones. He saw them again at Kelly's mom's house. Suspect B stood at the gate. He gave the following description: African male, 25 years, 1.80 meter tall, slender build, medium brown complexion, clothing a black hooded top. Witness saw a golden insert in upper teeth, hairstyle, dreadlocks, facial hair, mustache and beard. Witness saw something in his hand that could have been a firearm. Witness could not describe the rest of the faces. A sixth witness called Sipiwe could not compile any faces, but he mentioned that he saw an old green-blue sedan near the danger box. 2 unknown African males were sitting in the car, and the other 2 were standing outside the car. After a few minutes, the car left, and only 3 unknown African males stayed behind, and they were busy on their phones. The witness later saw them running. In front was a person with dreadlocks running with a firearm in his hand. The other suspect jumps over the wall. Lieutenant Colonel Streicher and I left Foster's detectives to see Ms. Kumalo at her house. I interviewed Ms. Kumalo at the neighbor's house. She gave a similar description of suspect A. I showed her the compilation, and she said she saw a likeness in the face. She could not describe the other suspect. Now, my purpose for this exercise really is this. If you look at the people that were in the house, that is, those that gave the description of the persons that were involved in the commission of this offense, i.e., Kelly Kumalo, Zandile Kumalo, Tumelo Madala, Longe Twala, and Makumalo. All of those people, according to the affidavit of Warrant Officer Steenkamp, they could not describe the second suspect. And we know that here in court, that second suspect was attributed to be accused number 2, You see that? From what I've read, that the people that were in the house could not describe accused number 2, according to this affidavit.
My Lord, can I say in response to that, first of all, I did not dispose any affidavit, my Lord, in relation to this content.
Yes.
Yes.
Engizama ukuthi ngitshengise noma ngikuveze kuwena-ke ngalokho engiqeda ukufunda ukuthi bonke labantu amagama abo-ke esebiziwe aboKelly Khumalo, uZandile, uLongwe, uMakakheli, ukuthi-ke Lo owesibili umuntu abazange bakwazike ukumchaza kuyena warrant officer Steenkamp nanjengoba kuyena nje owayedweba siyazi-ke ukuthi ngokubufakazi-ke osekuthulwe la enkantolo lo wesibili-ke okhulunywa ngayo kuthiwa-ke uyena u-accused number 2. Okokuqala-ke uma ngiphendula angikusho-ke lokhu ukuthi mina-ke angikaze nje ngithathe-ke istatimende mayelana-ke nalokhu noma ngisibhale phansi.
And my lord, I have never ever had an encounter with the person who disposed, my lord, of this affidavit.
Futhi-ke angikaze nje nakancane ngihlanganeke naye lo muntu lo ekuyena owabhala-ke lesi statement esifungele.
So I'm not in position, my lord, to comment on what you are putting to me.
Manje-ke angikho kisimo-ke sokuthi-ke sengingaphawula-ke kulokhu wena okushoyo kimina.
Sergeant Mola, you are a police officer, and I'm not going to cast any aspersions to you. As part of the investigating team, you assume the investigation of the case. And in the case docket, it says the previous 40 people that were fired, people are fired. Fired is used in this court. People are fired. The 40 people that were fired, investigating officer prior to yourselves, according to the evidence of Maku, have done preliminary investigations, and amongst those, it's the identity, kit, other investigations that were conducted prior to your team assuming or being seized with this investigation. Now, as part of familiarization, you will know that there is the identity kit that seemed to link suspect A and suspect B to the offense. I'm not saying you personally were involved in the interaction with warrant officer Steenkamp, or you personally deposed to a supplementary affidavit pertaining to this document. I'm just reading you the contents to say, do you see in what is written in this document, ex facie, on the face of it, it says all the people that were in the house, they did not describe any feature of the second suspect that entered the house. That's the gist of my answer.
We're sitting in the same problem that we had yesterday when Mr. Ngomezulu was cross-examining. We have these witnesses who have given viva voce evidence. They've expanded on their evidence. We submit that it's unfair now to go back after they've even identified accused number 2 in court, to go back and say, but there's this document that was compiled shortly after the incident, wherein the issues that Mr. Ramsepili is referring to were traversed in Exhibit J. When they've given evidence, we submit that the proper way is to refer to the evidence to say, look, in totality, in addition, not only to this exhibit, but to the evidence, this is what they said. It's unfair to select just one portion of their evidence and to confront the witness with that. It's got to be based on the totality of the evidence, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Ramsepili.
My lord, I don't know where the fairness is, because the witness can answer if they can. And I've got the records, and you know, sometimes the objections are premature. Because I was going to refer to the description, the doc identification that was done by both Tumelo and Ms. Kumalo Zandile of accused number 2. I've got the records, I've marked them for that purpose. So let me run my cross-examination now.
But this witness, is she able to comment? You said to her she can comment if she's capable of doing so.
Yes.
She gives a comment that she was not involved in this type of exercise. She never even communicated with Steenkamp. So what should she say?
She could simply have said, I can't comment. She shouldn't give me an answer that is parallel to the question.
Are you able to comment, ma'am?
No comment, my lord.
Kubufakazi-ke akukho engakusho, bakushushisa ukuthi-ke Akho ngendlela ukuthi ummeli manje ase uyabukhetha-ke ubufakazi ngoba ke usengakuhlanganisa lokho akubuzayo ukuthi labantu yebo yilokho abakusho-ke kodwa asho ukuthi kukhona-ke nalaba ababili abefika-ke enkantolo base bayamkhomba-ke umsola wesibili athi lo mmeli cha bese bengizofika-ke khona lapho kodwa ufakazi uthi cha akukho yena angakusho lokho.
And further, the other people that are mentioned here, if you can comment, a person called Sipiwe mentioned by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, and a person called Makaleni. I can tell you as a fact that these are not the people that were in the house at the time of the commission of the offense. Would you agree with that? Sipiwe and T. Makaleni.
My Lord, I can only comment on Makaleni because I was tasked to follow on him.
Uma ukhuluma-ke ngalaba abantu ababili-ke uSiphiwe oMagaleni ukuthi-ke babengekho endlini, mina umuntu engakhuluma ngaye-ke ukuthi uMagaleni ngoba-ke nganikezwa-ke umsebenzi ukuthi-ke ngimlandelele.
What can you comment about Sipiwe Magaleni?
That Mr. Magaleni has passed on.
Ukuthi-ke uSiphiwe Magaleni usewasho.
So it's issues of Section 3 of the Evidence Amendment Act. So I'll leave it at the point of law. I'll leave it
But has he made
he has
affidavit?
He has made affidavit, my lord.
Okay.
Yes. And this Sipiwe person, you were not asked to follow up on him because they only mentioned Sipiwe. There's no surname or details given.
No, my Lord.
Okay.
Kodwa uSiphiwe yena-ke angazi ngitshela ukuthi ukuthi kufanele khona kufanele kwenze mayelana naye.
Just to leave on this aspect of the warrant officer's facial recognition affidavit, and I'll put this to you. If it's speculative, don't answer it. She says at the time she had 22 years experience in the police and about 17 years as facial recognition, and that according to the affidavit she compiles it according to the description that is given by the witnesses. Now, hear me out. If you can answer, you can. If you can't, you can't. If she says these 5 people that were in the house could not describe accused number 2, as a police officer, would you agree with me that she could not suck that information from the vacuum? It must have been given by those people that she says they couldn't describe accused number 2.
May you please repeat the question?
A warrant officer of 22 years, if he says Makumalo, Kelly Kumalo, Zandile Kumalo, Tumelo Madala, Longwe Twana, did not give me the description of accused number 2. She didn't suck that up from the air. She didn't make it up. Would you agree that's a fair comment to make?
That's correct.
Kuyiqiniso-ke uma ukuthi-ke u-warrant officer Steenkamp lona-ke ubhalile noma uyasho-ke lapha ukuthi labantu laba uKelly Khumalo, uZandile Khumalo, uMakhumalo, Longwe, uTumelo abakwazanga-ke noma ababekwisimo sokuthi-ke bamchaze umsola wesibili. Lokho kusho ukuthi-ke yinto ayithola kubona, akusiyona into ayicabangela.
Yeah, but for me, because Mr. Mgomezulu has put it that this is a cover-up. So we're saying, despite the fact that it has been put that the police, including yourself, were busy with a cover-up, you're still able to say, to give a comment fairly and not be subject to be giving a comment to cover up, as it is put by Mr. Mgomezulu.
My Lord, I'm just responding to this, my Lord, as an opinion. It's like he's making an example.
No, fine.
Because, as I said, I'm not the one who, I'm not the author of the statement.
Did you hear my comment about the fact that you are accused of a cover-up? Are you aware of it?
Yes, my Lord, it's actually the question that was put to me by Mr. Mgomezulu.
That's it. Now you're commenting on the investigation. Is it still under the cloak of you covering up? Just all I want to understand.
No, my Lord, there is no cover-up, my Lord, whereby, my Lord, I was involved in.
Okay.
Lo mbuzo ke oqeda ukuphendula manje ke ngiyabuzwa kumuphendula kodwa ke kunale inkulumo ke ekhishiwe noma ke ekhulunyiwe izolo yena ke uMr Mngomezulu ukuthi ke kwakunokuthi ke kwacover up noma khona nje into eyahlanganiswa amaphoyisa lana ingaba lokho lo mbuzo oqeda ukuphendula manje uphendula ngoba ke ngalo mbuzo lo obuziwe noma ngaphansi kwaloko bekushiwo uyena uadvocate uMngomezulu ukuthi ninake ningamaphoyisa nje likhona nje itulo noma into enaniphezu kwayo cha mina ke akukho nje ekwahlanganisa nokuthi ke bekhona nje into ephekayo noma ke itulo nje elihlanganiswayo.
Okay. Now for contextual purposes and exactly what I said I'll come to regarding the description that was given by Zandile Khumalo. That will be found, my lord, at page 48 with the transcript of 19 July 2023. I think they'll show it here. July, page 48. Page 48 from line 15. It starts where, perhaps if I go to line 14, where Ms. Khumalo says, as I'm here in court, I saw the gentleman there. Yes, that's the line there, 14. And then just before the screen, it says, Mr. Baloyi, which one is it? From your left is accused 1 up to accused 5. And then Ms. Khumalo says, suspect number 2. And Mr. Baloyi says, yes, can you just, if you say suspect 2, what do you mean? Ms. Khumalo, suspect 2 is the one that had the hoodie following the one with the dreadlocks. And Mr. Baloyi, now, are there any specific features that enabled you to say that accused 2 is the second person who was in the house? We're going to page 49. Ms. Khumalo, on that day, as I explained, that I took a crutch and together with Tumelo tried to assault the person. I was with him and I looked at him very well. Mr. Baloyi, and how far were you from him? Ms. Khumalo, our kitchen is very small. As you can see from the previous pictures there, that the stove is close to the sink is close to the door. So it's very close. Mr. Baloyi, are there any specific features that enable you to identify him? You have already placed the description on record, but you say you see him in court. What reminded you or what enabled you to say he's the person who was in the house on the day? Ms. Khumalo, his whole face, I remember well, his stature, his body, as well as his height when he was standing. Now, did you see accused number 2 before the incident? No, I did not. So those are the descriptions, and there's also a description that she gives with respect to what she added at the identity kit compilation with Mrs. Stenkamp to the effect that she only added the complexion and she added the height. So that is the description that was given. But my point is that this description, as she gives here in court, identifying accused number 2, was not given to Mrs. Stenkamp at the compilation of the identity kit.
I think that's a matter for argument.
Yeah, but this evidence was traversed by yourself, Mr. Ramusipiti, when you were cross-examining Zandile Kumar.
Yes.
And now we are repeating the same evidence again.
Now, I was just clarifying on the aspect that the objection was based on my lord. I couldn't leave it hanging. Now, let us move forward. Upon the arrest of accused number 2 on the 16th of June 2020, subsequent to that, the 17th until they appeared in court, was there an identity parade held where the people in the house had to identify accused number 2?
My lord, I have no idea because I was not tasked, my lord, to arrange any identification parade.
Ukuthi ke emuva kokuthi eseboshiwe ummangalelwa wesibili nge-17 ukuya le phambili ke ukuthi ikhona yini ikhomba parade eyenziwa ke la abantu beyomiswa khona ke kuletho fakazi ukuthi bayokhomba khona, angikwazi lokho, angikaze ke ngitshelwe ke noma ngicelwe ukuthi ke angihlanganise lokho.
Now let us go back to the incident of the 18th of June 2020 when you, Brigadier Gininda, attended upon Sibanye Stillwater Gold Mine in Carltonville, and you met Sergeants Mabena and Mohani, who were already at that mine. Remember that date?
That's correct. I remember the incident of Sibanye.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ngesigameko saseSpanye nge-18 kaJune la sahamba khona ke kanye noBrigadier Gininda sasesihlangana phambili ke naye uMabena noMogani.
And I'm just going to summarize your evidence and correct me if it's misquoted. You stated that upon arrival, Mohani and Mabena had already done inquiries. Brigadier Gininda asked them if they've got any document to show that accused number 2 was not at work on the 26th of October 2014. Do you remember that evidence?
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ngiyakhumbula ke ukuthi uma sifika lapho ke babe sebebuzisile ke futhi ke uBrigadier Gininda wabuza ukuthi kwakukhona yini abanabo okutshengisayo ke ukuthi wayesemsebenzini noma cha ummangalelwa wesibili nge-26 ka-October 2014.
And Brigadier Gininda says, okay, let's go and get those documentation from HR. And according to your evidence, Brigadier Gininda and the 2 sergeants go inside the building, perhaps attending to HR, and you remain in the car doing some other administration. You remember that?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngasho ke nokuthi uBrigadier Gininda kanye nabanye nabosajeni laba babini ke bangena ngaphakathi bona mina ngasala ke emotweni ngenza omunye umsebenzi.
Now, after a while, they come out, the 3 of them, Brigadier Gininda, the 2 sergeants, they talk amongst themselves. Perhaps let me ask you, did Bongani and Tanzi enter with them in that building when they went to HR for the second time in the company of Brigadier Gininda?
They went together, my lord.
Yebo bahamba bonke noma bangena naye ke uBongani Ntanzi uma sebebuyela lapha ngaphakathi behamba naye uBrigadier Gininda.
Now they exit, that is now the 4th of them, accused number 2, together with the 3 police officers. In your absence, they talk amongst themselves. Is that your evidence? Do you remember that?
Upon their exit.
Upon their exit now, once they've been to the HR to obtain whatever documentation they needed to obtain.
That's correct, my lord. They were just there next to the car.
Bekuyiqiniso uma sebebuya ke babese laphayana ke eduze nemoto beyikhulumela bona bona.
And were you privy or could you overhear their conversation?
Not at all, my lord.
Zwanga ke ukuthi babekhuluma bethini.
My lord, if I may approach. I mean, that's it, my lord. Now they talk amongst themselves. What then transpired after?
My lord, and then Brigadier Gininda jumped into the car, and then we went to Editing.
Emuva kosebekhulumile ke uBrigadier Gininda wangena emotweni sasisiya ke eEraton.
Was there at Sibanye Stillwater, was there an occasion where the police officers, maybe in your absence of presence, went to the medical section of the mine to get documentation to determine whether or not accused number 2 had any injuries, in particular on his legs? Did you attend to the medical section?
I did not attend to any medical section, my lord.
Angizange ngiyeke la ekumayelana ke nempilo yakhe noma la kwayiwa khona ke kwihlangothi ke langasesibhedlela lapha emayini kufuna uyobhekwa ukuthi kwayinokulimala awayenako onyaweni lakhe yini umsolo wesibili.
And per your recollection, did Brigadier Gininda, together with the 2 other sergeants, perhaps attend to the medical section in your absence?
My lord, I have no idea.
Ukuthi baya ke bona uBrigadier Gininda kanye nabanye osargeant laba babili anginalwazi.
What I know is that they went inside the building.
Yes.
So as to which section they went to, my lord, I have no idea.
Engikwazi ukuthi bangena ngaphakathi kubuilding lelo ukuthi baya kuphi nendawo ke khona lapho angazi.
Because that place is big.
Ngoba le ndawo inkulu.
Now, since your arrival with Brigadier Gininda at Sibanye Stillwater, did there come an occasion where Brigadier Gininda requested to speak in private, one-on-one with accused number 2?
My lord, as I said, I was in the car, I was busy with the work that I was doing. So as to whether there was a time when one was with the suspect, my lord, I have no collection of it. Because I was concentrating on what I was doing.
Bese ngishilo ukuthi angisemotweni ngibhekeke lokhu engikwenzayo ukuthi kwakunesikhathi ke la khona uBrigadier wayikhuluma nomsola yedwa eceleni angikwazi ke lokho bese ngishilo ukuthi ngibheke umsebenzi wokwenza.
Perhaps if I pass it here with you, because I'll take it also up with the Brigadier. He says at some stage in his testimony in the trial, within a trial, he stated that at some stage he requested to speak one-on-one with accused number 2, and that he confronted accused number 2 with this identity kit of the 2 sketches of a hoodie and the look-alike of a celebrity person this side. I'll be sure if I tell what the name is. This one here, the hoodie with dreadlocks protruding up to here, and put it to accused number 2 that this looks like you. It's got your likeness, and accused number 2 says, I'm not involved in the commission of an offense. This is a case of mistaken identity. And accused number 2 never at any stage then said, I want to confess. Brigadier Gininda said, after showing these 2 accused number 2, he then left the motor vehicle that they were in, and as he is leaving, is it too long, Mr. Jonas? You must stop me if it's too long. As he's leaving that motor vehicle, one of the police officers there, yourself or Sergeant Mohammed Mabena, says, accused number 2 is calling you back. He wants to speak to you. And that's when this thing of I want to confess came into the picture. So I'm just passing it here. It's not your evidence. I'm just for holistical purposes, for contextual purposes, because this is the gist of why accused number 2 is here. And if I may ask you this, as you went to Sibanye Stillwater Gold Mine in Carltonville on the 18th, did Sergeant Mohan and Mabena have the case docket 636-10 of 2014 with them, or yourself and Gininda have 636 of 10 docket with you?
My Lord, what I know is that Brigadier Gininda was the one who was in possession of the dockets. As to whether there was a point where he has given a docket to Mokhane, my Lord, I have no idea. And right now, my Lord, at this moment, I can't tell if he was having a docket or not, my Lord, because he will have his bag. So if maybe he did take it out or something, my Lord, I will comment, but I have no idea. As I said, I was in the car and I was focusing on what I was doing. If maybe I was involved in their communication and Brigadier excused us, I was going to be able to comment, because it would click in my mind that there was an instance whereby we were there and the Brigadier asked that we excuse him. So right now, as I said, I was just focusing on my work.
mayelana nedokoto noma ke wayiphethe lalikuMokhane engikwaziyo ke ukuthi ke uBrigadier uyena ke umuntu ke owaye idokoto lihlala kuyena ke kodwa futhi nesikhwama sakhe esiphatha ukuthi ke sasike lalike ke ngalesa sikhathi angazi noma njengoba bengisendishilo ke ukuthi ngangihlezi emotweni uma ukuthi ngangiyingxenye la ababe khona ke mhlambe ke ngangizoshoka ukuthi akunesikhathi ke lapho asicela khona ukuthi asisimele eceleni udaba ke lo esanuza ke ngaphambili noma abelusho bengasona ke umbuzo umalana nalethombe endili ke la athi khona ke omunye lo uyafana ke nosazwa kodwa ke umshoke ukuthi ubani ukuthi ke uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi ke wakhulumisana uBrigadier Gininda kufakazi bakhe ukuthi ke kukhona la akhuluma eceleni ekhuluma naye ke uBongani Ntanzi wase embuza ke ukuthi ngasithombe lesi ethi ke lana umuntu onesithombe wena ke noma ke unelana afana khona ke nawe washo ke umsola wathi cha asimina ke lona akukho kumhlanganisa nensala elenziwa ekamuva ke wasephinde yabizwa ke uBrigadier ngokusho kwakhe ubufakazi bakhe ke omunye walamaphoyisa amabili wathi cha kukhona ke afuna ukusho uBongani kodwa ke ufakazi lokho akaphendulanga.
My Lord, will this be an opportune time to take the short adjournment?
Okay, what's the time?
11.
Okay, 15 minutes straight then. Yes, Mr. Ramasaki.
Thank you, my Lord. I mean, that's it. Now, moving on from Carltonville at Sibanye Stillwater on the 18th of June 2020, your next interaction with accused number 2 is on the 19th of June 2020 at his place of residence. You recall that incident?
That's correct, my Lord.
Senihambeleke manje nisukileke khona ke eSibanye nge-18 kaJune 2020 maphinde ke manje senihlangana naye ngoLwesibini kula ayehlala khona ngazo i-19. Yebo kuyiqiniso.
And for the purposes of brevity, I am not going to regurgitate all the evidence that was put on behalf of accused number 2 by Mr. Mgomezulu during the trial within the trial. Just on this aspect of the hoodie that the witnesses mentioned, the purpose of the excursion to Rustenburg was to search for that hoodie, according to the evidence, correct?
That's correct, my Lord.
Ngokufakazike isizathu sokuthi ke iwe Rustenburg ngalelo langa okuyobheka yona ke ihoodie le awufakazi abakhuluma ngayo.
And according to the evidence, no such hoodie was found other sorts of hoodies and different colors were found, but not specifically the one that is alleged by the witnesses to have been worn by accused number 2 on the 26th of October 2014.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniswa-ke ukuthi yebo akhona amanye amahudi atholakalayo kodwa ayiyona lena-ke ofakazi babekhuluma ngayo bathi iyona ayeyigqokile ngazo i-26 October 2014.
And I just want to clarify something, but it's something also that you can comment on if you can comment. But I think Brigadier Gininda is the one that touched on this aspect mainly, which is the so-called first alibi of accused number 2, that at the boardroom on the 17th of June, when he was asked about his whereabouts on the 26th of October, the answer he gave to Mohane was that I was at work. Remember that evidence?
My lord, I was not present when the accused number 2 was questioned.
Uzokhumbula-ke mayelana-ke nanga lo mhlangano wange-17 zika-June eboardroom-ke ukuthi-ke wathi uma ebuzwa umsolo wesibili kwathiwa uMkhane wathi-ke wathi wayesemsebenzini ngazo i-26 zika-October 2014. Ngeshwa-ke ngangingekho lapho uma babemhloma ngemibuzo umsolo wesibili.
Yes, but the point really that I'm making is this. The HR manager of Sibanye Stillwater, Mr. Mulder, testified in this court, and he corrected himself that what he said during the bail application of accused number 2, when he stated that accused number 2 was AWOL, absent from work without approval, he was incorrect because he didn't have proper full documentation. But when he testified in this court, he brought clocking records and leave form applications of accused number 2 that showed that from the 25th of October 2014 to the 1st of November 2014, accused number 2 was on unpaid approved leave. Therefore, he wasn't supposed to even clock on the 26th of October 2014. That evidence, did you hear it or are you aware of that evidence?
No comment, my lord.
Okay.
Kubufakazi bakhe-ke umnumzana uMulder la ayesebenza khona-ke umsola wesibili walungisa-ke awayekhulume kwisicelo sebheyili la asho ayeshilo-ke khona ukuthi umsola wayengekho-ke emsebenzini engashongo noma-ke engachazelanga muntu, kodwa uma efika kule nkantolo-ke waseletha-ke amaphepha-ke ayetshengisa-ke ukuthi ngempela-ke wafaka-ke isicelo sokuthi-ke angabikho emsebenzini noma nje wayengazi ukukhokhelwa-ke lokubizwa ngokuthi-ke i-unpaid. Akukho-ke engifisa ukuthi ngikusho kulokho.
Now, the last, second last aspect that I want to touch on is what you were referred to by my learned colleague. A statement was handed to you yesterday by Mr. Mgomezulu pertaining to Nompilo Melangwane Sangweni. It's A94. Do you have A94 before you?
I do, my lord.
Yes, I'm not going to ask you regarding the aspect of the tangent that we took yesterday pertaining to black magic, seeing dead souls and all of that. But my point really is this, and this goes to count 3, which is robbery aggravating the taking of the S4 cell phone by the alleged intruders, especially according to Zandile Khumalo, it was taken by the first intruder with a firearm, the one with the dreadlocks. There is paragraph, it's not numbered in terms of paragraph. Let me try and make it easy for you. From the beginning, excluding the introduction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 6.
We have 5.
You have 5 pages. Mine goes to 6.
These ones are numbered.
Oh, the typed out ones, because I'm referring to the copy of the handwritten one. So let me see at the typed out one, which paragraph am I looking for, and I'll let you know. Now, not if I may give in a minute to find out the relevant paragraph, because I was using the copy of the handwritten document. In any event, I'm not sure what paragraph, because I can't readily see it from here. Let me just read it for you. It says, maybe you'll find it on your document, but it says, before Kelly left, she told me that the criminals got inside the house and they pretended as if they wanted her cell phone. But she was surprised because they didn't take the phone, they only killed Senzo. She found her phone next to the door.
Paragraph 14.
Paragraph 14. Thank you, Mr. Jonas. Yes, that paragraph 14. Now, and I'm not saying, Sergeant Mohola, that you interacted with Ms. Sangwene or you took a supplementary affidavit or you investigated this aspect. But what I'm putting in respect to country is this. If Ms. Sangwene comes to this court and takes oath and confirms that Kelly Kumalo told her that the phone was not taken by the intruder, that she had a phone after this incident, and Kelly Kumalo does not come to this court to refute that allegation, would it be fair to say that this then blows out of the water the state case regarding the count 3?
That's a good question, Lord. Let me submit to that. That is an unfair question. We have the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Stein, who testified that there's objective evidence that shows that the phone went in the direction of the hostel. This shows just the danger of putting hearsay evidence on record.
Kunombuzo ke la obubuza uyena ke ummeli ngoba lana ke kwistatement esifundiwe izolo sakhe uNompilo Sangweni uthi nje ngaphambi kokuthi uKelly ahambe ke wamtshela ke ukuthi ke igebengu lezo zangena ngaphakathi endlini benzisa ke ingathi bafuna i-cellphone kodwa ke kwamangaza ke ngoba abakaze abayithathanga i-cellphone kodwa babulala uSenzo wayithola ke i-cellphone yakhe eduze nesicapha emumva kokuthi behambile. Uthi ke ummeli uma ngempela ke uSangweni angeza ke lana akusho lokhu aqinisekise noKelly angezike enkantolo ezophikisa lokhu kusho ukuthi ke leqala leli ke balithwesiwe lokuphucwa kwefoni alikho. Mele umshushisi uyasho ke ukuthi ke lokho ke akukho akusona ke iqiniso ngoba kunobufakazi ke bakhe uKenneth Stein ngathi ke ethuka ubufakazi bakhe la enkantolo ukuthi ke ifoni leyo ke yahamba ke ngalelo langa futhi uma ke beyibheka ke kuyindlela ababheka ngazo ke ukuthi ke yaya ngakuhlangothi langase hostel.
My Lord, I'm happy for that objection because, and I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
Yes, because my learned colleague has told us, an expert from Vodacom who deals with cell sites and all of that will come and testify because I'm a layperson, I can't even mention to court, but the radius of where the phone is located is not actually that which Mr. Stein said about, but we will cross the relevant expert and withdraw that question.
Stein actually estimated the distance. You
Yes.
remember that evidence?
Yes, he said
Yeah.
5 kilometers, I remember. Yes. But the real person that deals with cell sites will come and
But that's an expert
educate us.
also.
Sorry?
Stein is not an expert, analyst.
I've never disputed that. He deals with the analysis. I mean, somebody who deals with cell towers, how they locate, how they ping phones, and all of that.
He also mentioned the cell tower, Stein.
Yeah, but he was reading it from a document. He couldn't explain to us, my Lord. But
Okay, that's all. Okay.
let's wait for the expert that is coming. My Lord, those are the questions
Okay,
that I'll
fine,
have for the
fine,
witness.
fine.
I'm thankful.
Chike msela msipile uzolinda yena ke umngodi lo wakwa Vodacom ke ukuba uyena ozosho ke ukuthi ifoni leyo yayikuphi nendawo.
My Lord, before I sit down, let me find out from accused number 1.
Yeah, fine. Remember, Mr. Numalo also tested that version. Remember, Mr. Numalo.
Yes,
About a
sir.
white cell phone.
Yes, through
I
Constable
remember
Mosia.
every evidence here. You cross-examined on that aspect.
Yeah, it appeared that it was not robbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't remember cross-examining about a cell phone?
Yeah, I do remember. But it remained.
Which was not there.
Yeah.
And then you cross-examined about the sofas, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, 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 blah. All in my mind.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam. That's it. I've got no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Museki.
My Lord, Advocate Nisi requested that counsel for accused 4 and 5 may proceed with their cross-examination, and if there is a need after that, he will then request that the witness be recalled to give evidence.
So you're making an application on behalf of him on his instructions that he forgoes chronologically his cross-examination after Ramosepidi and gives leave that accused number 4's counsel and number 5's counsel, they can in the meantime cross-examine the witness, and when he comes, if there is any need for him to cross-examine, he will do so later.
That's correct, my Lord,
Okay.
and I believe he has also related that to the court yesterday.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Ngumalo. Okay.
Mr. Nubeke nanjengoba ummeli wakho engekho uMr. Nyekile ummeli uthi ucelileke ummeli wakho ukuthi ke ummeli ka number 4 na number 5 bangaqhubeka ke bona uma esebuyileke uma sikhona ke isidingo uzombiza ke futhi ufakazi uma kukhona afuna ukuthi ke noma okuyizathu sokuthi ambize futhi.
Just place your name on record, because I know you. But if this matter goes to any other court, they'll be surprised if Mr. Mnisi is not here. Who's talking on behalf of accused number 3?
My Lord, my name is Munyeki. The initial is B. I'm standing in for Advocate Nis.
On behalf of?
Accused number 4, my Lord.
Fine. Yeah.
Number 3, my Lord.
Okay.
I do have questions to the witness.
Hello, sir.
I do have questions to the witness. May I proceed with
Yes.
Thank you. Sergeant Sia testified that on the 6th of July 2020, he, at about 12:41, he took buccal swabs from accused number 4 at Louis Cop prison. You confirm you had that evidence? You confirm that evidence?
I was not in court.
Yeah.
Bengekho senkantolo ke uma ke uthi ethuka ke ufakazi athi ke waya ke elikho prison kuyena umsolwa wesine.
Are you aware of that?
When, my Lord, the buccal swab was taken from accused number 4, my Lord, I was present.
Kodwa ke uma ke lokho kwenzeka ke noma ke thatha lokho ufakazi ke nazo umsolwa wesine ngangikhona.
Is it correct that the buccal swabs of accused number 4 were packed and sealed in seal bag number PA 400 4638062? Do you confirm that?
PA 400
4638062.
That's correct, my Lord.
Okay. Yebo kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ke wakufakwe kule sikhwama sobufakazi esiku PA 400 463 8062.
Sergeant, are you aware that this bag number was forwarded to the Forensic Science Laboratory in Pretoria?
My Lord, I am aware.
Ngiyazi ke ukuthi kwasekudlulisela ke lesi sikhwama lesi ke kwi lab ke yamaphoyisa ke ekhona la ePitoli.
Sergeant, do you confirm that the results of this DNA that is the buccal swabs, the results or the outcome of the analysis, it was negative. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware, my lord.
Angazi-ke ukuthi iphuma noma imiphumela-ke yalocwaningo lolu yabuya-ke ngathi-ke uma sasebenzisa lona-ke igama ukuthi yayi-negative.
Is it negative according to the expert who testified? Is it negative or non-conclusive? Those are the terms he used. When I said inconclusive, he said no. The scientific term for it is not conclusive. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that. I'll have to go with the report,
No.
unfortunately.
Well, you say negative, fine. But he says it's non-conclusive. And because he says it is very rare to get to do an analysis of DNA and not find some points which coincide, except that they've got to coincide in all the tables.
Yes, non-conclusive in the sense
Remember,
that it was not positive.
That's why he says it is non-conclusive.
Yes.
But when you say it's negative, it means there was no matching analysis in all the DNA sample.
Yes, I'll have to revisit the report.
Okay, fine.
Yes, thank you. Sergeant, you testified that you have been in charge of this investigation since 2018, so it's a period of about 6 years.
I have been in charge.
Dealing with this case, the 636 docket. You took over the investigation from 2018.
I did not take over took over my lot of any investigations.
Okay, what did you do?
Angikaze-ke ngithathe uphenyo ngithi-ke kukhona la engilithathe khona noma lwadluliswa-ke bese ngase ngiyalithatha-ke mina.
What did you do? Did you commence with your investigation from 2018?
My lord, I will get instructions, my lord, to follow up on some information. I will get instruction, my lord, to obtain statements. I will get instructions, my lord, to take the exhibit to the forensic science laboratory. And I will get instructions, my lord, to maybe to accompany, to be part of the team. For instance, we went to Pukeng, I was there.
Nangithi mina ngitholeke noma ngitshelweke ukuthi-ke mhlawumbe nanjengoba saya-ke ePhukeng hambe ngiyothatha-ke ama-statements-ke noma nginikezwe umsebenzi othize ekufanele ngiwenze yilokho okwakwenzeka.
From when did you do that exercise?
From when?
From which year?
Around 2018, my lord.
Kwenzeke lokho ukuqala-ke nokusuka-ke ngayo 2018.
So we have been doing that for 6 years.
That's correct, my lord.
Iminyaka-ke eyisithupha leyo.
Sergeant, is it correct that part of the evidence that the state, and the police relied on heavily against my client, accused number 4, is a confession statement which was allegedly made by accused number 2. Do you confirm that?
My lord, I cannot confirm anything.
Ingabe kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi-ke ubufakazi-ke umbuso kanye-ke namaphoyisa abanawo-ke ngakulo engimele-ke unumber 4 yiloku ekuthiwa noma-ke enithi kwashiwo uyena unumber 2 egunyuluka ukuthi-ke akukho engaqinisekisa.
Okay, according to you, what is the information that you have in the docket which implicates my client, accused number 4?
My lord, as I said before that I know part of the investigations, my lord. At this point, I cannot really say what is it, my lord, that is linked, my lord, in connection of accused number 4. But Brigadier Kininda will be the one, my lord, who will give the overall view, my lord, of the state case.
Iningi eninayo-ke ngokufakazi noma ngokophenyo-ke kuyena-ke unumber 4 bengishilo-ke ngaphambilini ukuthi-ke ngazi ingxenye-ke yomsebenzi-ke noma ubufakazi-ke okhona lana ukuthi yini-ke umbuso onayo-ke ngakuyena unumber 4 angeke ngikusho-ke kodwa yena-ke uma sefika noma seza-ke uBrigadier Kininda uyena-ke manje kusho konke-ke ukuthi icala lombuso lingani.
So from that part of the information that you have, I mean, I'm being direct now. What information do you have that implicates my client from the information that you have?
I don't think that's a fair question. Evidence is being presented. Colonel Steyn has testified about the communication between the accused as well as Colonel Hose. It's for this court to decide and not for this witness.
Yes, Mr. Mola.
Sergeant, let me be direct now. Part of the investigation, according to your Brigadier, that is Brigadier Kinenda, is a statement, a confession statement that was made by accused number 2, implicating my client, accused number 4.
Say, you wanted to answer. No, she says she doesn't know. You wanted to answer that. You quoted the law and said that Mr. Ngumezulu, you cannot use the confession of accused number 2, number 1. You remember that recitation?
Yes, I haven't finished.
Now you're asking her. You don't foresee any danger in doing that?
I'm not finished with my question, my lord.
You said it, and then I kept quiet. Now you're repeating it. Is it correct that, Sergeant, you used the confession or the statement of accused number 4, of number 2, to follow if you have a case against number 4? That's what you said.
Yes.
And then I just let it pass.
Yes, I haven't denied that, my lord. I said it.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
As long as I've warned you.
Yes.
The law says I must warn you.
Yes.
Because the law is clear. Is it 219, sir?
It's 219.
Yes,
I do have
219
those
says you
provisions.
cannot use.
Yes.
But if you interrogate a witness about that, what happens, Mr. Ramsipiti?
I haven't sucked
Okay,
any,
fine,
I haven't sucked any information from the statement that was made by accused number 2, my lord.
Okay, right.
Lana-ke inkantolo isemployisa-ke noma iyamkhumbuza-ke ummeli ukuthi-ke nanjengoba umthetho usho-ke ukuthi uma ngabe kusetshenziswa-ke isitatimende sogonyuluka-ke senziwe omunye umsola asetshenziswa ngakomunye, kodwa-ke manje ngombuzo obuza ubufakazi-ke usufuna aphenduleke kuzokwenzekani-ke manje lobo bufakazi sebuyasetshenziswa-ke.
Maybe I should repeat the question.
Please repeat the question.
Yes, let me repeat the question for you. According to Brigadier Kinenda, in the statement that he made when he was applying for a warrant of arrest, amongst others, it is the evidence of a confession statement that accused number 2 made implicating my client, accused number 4. Are you aware of that? Of
My
that
Lord,
statement which was made by Brigadier Kinenda?
My Lord, I cannot comment, my Lord, on behalf of the statement that was disposed by Brigadier Kinenda.
Kwisicelo sakhe-ke asenza-ke Brigadier Kinenda-ke noma la esho ukuthi yini-ke ehlanganisa umsolo wesine-ke ukhulume nangestatement esogonyuluka-ke esenziwa uyena umsolo wesibili ekhuluma ngayo umsolo wesine futhi-ke angikho kwisimo-ke sokuthi ngingakhuluma ngestatement sakhe uBrigadier Kinenda.
Okay, maybe I should reserve that question for Brigadier Kinenda.
Please.
Can you speak a bit up, sir?
Yes, maybe I should. Yeah, there's aircon.
No.
Yeah, that is hovering above us. I'm saying, let me then reserve that question for Brigadier Kinenda, not you.
Please.
Sergeant, is it correct that from the evidence that has been turned out in this court, there is no evidence from the witnesses who were in the house implicating my client, accused number 4?
Mola, that will be a matter for argument.
When you say there is no, I'm with you. I'm just commenting after Mr. Baloyi. You see, you're making it like as if there is no evidence whatsoever. That's why he's objecting, says it's a matter for argument. Because we have, and I'm not prejudging anything, we had an analyst say the people communicated. You heard that.
I've reserved that cross-examination, my lord.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So
but you're
I
asking
don't think it would be proper for me
No,
to-
Mr. Ngumalo. If you are wrong sometimes, just concede. Man. You lose nothing. You learn.
Yes. No, I do concede that.
Yeah, because there
But-
is evidence, according to the state, not me,
Yes.
through the mouth of House. Okay, just go on.
But on that point, my lord, I just wish to clarify that there is no evidence when that communication occurred. With regards to the date.
Yeah, okay, if you qualify it like
yes,
that, fine, no
I just
problem.
wanted to qualify
Yeah,
that.
qualify
yes.
it, no problem.
So we cannot heavily rely on that evidence at this moment.
Hey.
Is it also correct, ma'am, that from the evidence that we are having at present, that is today, from the commencement of this case, there is no evidence whatsoever from the witnesses who identified my client in the vicinity of the crime scene? You confirm that?
My lord, I don't know.
Ngaba kuyiboniswa-ke ukuthi njengamanje singana-ke ukuthi abukho ubufakazi-ke la ofakazi khona-ke basho-ke ukuthi sambona-ke umsolo wesine mduze nala isehlakalo senzeka khona-ke angazi.
Simply because the evidence is not presented to me.
Ngoba-ke ubufakazi abethula mina.
But ma'am, Sergeant, you cannot just take the contents of the docket without you having gone through the statement. You are part of the investigators of this case. I was telling this court that we don't have any information about the events of this case.
My lord, I have already laid evidence, my lord, on what I know about this case, my lord. And maybe you can kindly confront me with the statement which I have, whereby I am the author of
mina-ke ukuthi ngenzani-ke noma eyami ingxenye yayini-ke kulecala bese ngibethulile-ke ubufakazi mhlampe-ke usungangibuza-ke ngestatement esabhalwa yimina.
Moving forward, Sergeant, do you confirm, Sergeant, that there is no evidence from independent witnesses up to so far detailing that they did identify the Polo Vivo in the vicinity of the crime scene where the two intruders got in and it sped off? Do you confirm that?
My lord, I cannot confirm because I do not know.
Ngakusho-ke ukuthi-ke akekho ufakazi noma ofakazi-ke abashilo-ke la kule nkantolo-ke ukuthi bayibona-ke iPolo Vivo eduze-ke nala isehlakalo senzeka khona-ke la ekuthiwa-ke laba ababili bangena kuyona angeke ngikusho-ke lokho.
The two cell phones, the handset of accused number one, Mr. Spear, you told this court that you forwarded them to the Brixton war room. Do you confirm that?
May you please repeat the question, my lord?
You confirm that you told this court that the two cell phones, the handset that belonged to accused number one, were forwarded to the Brixton war room.
I can confirm, my lord.
Yebo ngaqinisekisa-ke ukuthi ngishilo ukuthi ama-cellphone amabili-ke wakhe ummangalelwa wokuqala-ke ngingawandlulisela kwi-war room yase-Brixton.
For download. You said they were forwarded there for download.
That's correct, my lord.
Isizathu salokho-ke kwakuyokuthola-ke imininingwane lokubizwa ngokuphecelezi-ke i-download.
Sergeant, have you received the results of the download of the two cell phones?
My lord, there is results, my lord, of the downloads.
Yebo imiphumela yalokho-ke noma yalawo makhalekhukhwini ababili ikhona.
Who downloaded the two handsets?
My lord, I believe it was Sergeant Mabasa.
Cabanga ukuthi kwakuwu-Sergeant Mabasa-ke umuntu owayesebenza-ke ngawo lawo ma-cellphone amabili.
Sergeant, do you know if one of the handsets that you sent for downloads at the Brixton war room had the number 079-379-0137?
My lord, I did not analyze the downloads.
Ingabe uyazi yini ukuthi-ke omunye walabo makhalekhukhwini ababili-ke wayenenamba ewu-079 637900137 mina-ke akusimina-ke umuntu okwakuumcwaningi noma ecwaninga-ke lawo emakhalekhukhwini.
Do you know if the Section 205 application was made in respect of this number?
I have no idea, my lord.
Anginalo-ke ulwazi ukuthi-ke kunesicelo-ke noma lokho kubizwa phecelezi ku-Section 205 mayelana nale number lena eqeda ukubizwa.
Do you know if the Section 205 records were received in respect of this number?
I have no idea, my lord. You can put that question to Brigadier Kininda.
Nokuthi-ke futhi mayelana nale number lena futhi-ke loyo Section 205 cela ukuthi loyo mbuzo lowo ubuzeke kuyena uBrigadier Kininda.
You have not analyzed the Section 205 records.
My lord, I'm not an analyst, my lord. Brigadier Kininda was the one who was coordinating, my lord, the Section 205, the analyzing of the 205 and the downloading. So I have no knowledge of that.
Angisiyena-ke umcwaningi umuntu-ke owayesebenza ngalokho-ke nalawo ma-Section 205 bese kufanele kubheka-ke ukuthi imiphumela yalokho yini kwakuyena uBrigadier Kininda.
My lord, I have no further questions because
Okay, thank
it
you.
seems like Brigadier Kininda is the one who is in charge of everything in this case.
Yes, he's the boss.
I don't seem to get positive answers from the witness.
Is it like Ramaphosa with the government ministers?
He's got the cabinet ministers. Maybe she's one of the ministers, I don't know. I mean in the rank of the SAPS. Thank you. I have no
Okay,
further questions.
thanks.
Sir. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Msholola?
Ma'am, I've got just a few questions on the point of clarity on the general investigation of this case.
Okay.
You said when were you tasked to investigate in this matter?
2018, my lord.
Nemibuzo nje embalwa-ke mayelana-ke nophenyo njena lwaleli cala leli konje kuthe naqala nini ukuthi niphenye icala leli ngo-2018.
Okay. At the time when you were tasked to investigate in this matter, were you aware of the second docket, which is docket case number 375, which is also part of this case?
I was not aware, my lord.
Ngaleso sikhathi siqala uphenyo lana noma bayingxenye-ke yethimba ephenyayo ngangingenalo-ke ulwazi mayelana nedokodo lesibili elu-375.
But did you eventually become aware of that case?
That's correct, my lord.
Kodwa-ke ngokuhamba kwesikhathi-ke ngase ngiyazi-ke ngalo.
Okay, when did you become aware of that case, of that docket?
My lord, I cannot recall, but I became to know about the docket because, my lord, simply because I'm the one who's bringing the docket to court.
Angisazi isikhathi ukuthi ngaqala nini ukwazi ngalo lelo dokodo kodwa-ke ngiyazi ukuthi-ke kwafika isikhathi la ngasikhona ngoba yimina-ke letha amadokodo enkantolo.
Okay. And who is the investigating officer in that case?
I was told, or I was briefed that it's Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi.
Ngatshelwa-ke ukuthi ophenyayo kuleli cala-ke uLieutenant Colonel Buthelezi.
Is she alone in that case, if you know?
I know that she's working with Warrant Officer Makubu.
Ngiyazi-ke ukuthi usebenza no-Warrant Officer Makubo.
And then, on this case number 363, it's yourself, Colonel Kininda, Sergeant Mohane. Am I correct? Three of you.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuleli-ke elu-636-10-2014 mina Brigadier Kininda no Sergeant Mohane.
Is it correct that as a team of investigating officers, you will share the information that has been captured in a docket, or that you are busy with whatever that is happening, the affairs of the docket. Am I correct? Or it happens the other way? You can just assist me there.
My Lord, if there's a senior officer, my Lord, in that investigation, my Lord, you cannot...
Or you don't work together, you work individually?
No. As I said, Brigadier Kinenda is the lead investigating officer.
Okay.
Yes. So he will just give us the task to do for the day.
Okay.
If you want us to get involved in whatever investigation that is supposed to be followed on that day.
Okwenzekayo nanjengoba uBrigadier Kinenda kuyena-ke umholi, kuyena oyinhloko kwithimba leli-ke, uma kunomsebenzi kufanele ukuthi wenziwe ngalelo langa-ke, usezositshela-ke noma usezosithuma-ke ukuthi kunomsebenzi noma uphenyo oluthize kufanele lwenziwe ngalelo langa lelo.
Okay, I understand that one. That's the basic wherein the senior will give instruction to juniors to conduct some work. But I'm interested in the briefing in the case amongst all the team members that are investigating this case, to say, look, this is what we have, this is what we still need to get, updating each other, each members on the developments of the investigation in a docket. Would you do that, or you didn't do that in this case?
I think it will be proper for you to put that question to Brigadier Kinenda.
Yeah.
Because as I'm saying, I will just be commanded to do some tasking.
Kodwa-ke mina engifisa ukwazi ukuthi-ke nanjengethimba-ke ngaba niyahlangana yini bese niyakhuluma niyaxoxisana-ke ukuthi manje-ke kwenzeke lokhu uphenyo-ke enilwenzile. Ngicabanga ukuthi lo mbuzo kuzofanele-ke ubuzeke kuyena uBrigadier Kinenda, ngoba bese ngishilo-ke ukuthi mina ngizokwenza lokho engikutshelwayo ukuthi angikwenze.
Before Mr. Kinenda comes in, because we are also part of the investigating team, and you are the member of the SAPS, I want to understand the role played by you in the investigation. But before I go into that, I need to get clarity on you if you will have time to discuss the developments in the case that you were investigating together, or a person will just work individually and not report back to the team.
My Lord, when we receive an instruction, my Lord, from Brigadier Kinenda pertaining to the task, my Lord, that we have to conduct, we will obviously report to him or brief him of whatever it is that we have ventured on. But we can't say it vice versa, because we account to Brigadier Kinenda, but Brigadier Kinenda does not account to us. He has seniors that he accounts to. Probably he does go to them and report of the progress of the case.
Engifisa ukwazi-ke mina-ke ukuthi nanjengethimba elisebenzayo nisebenza njengethimba, niyahamba-ke niyokwenza umsebenzi, niyabuya-ke manje bese niyakhuluma niyatshelana-ke ukuthi kwenzekeni-ke. Okwenzekayo-ke lana ukuthi thina-ke nanjengabantu-ke abasebenza ngaphansi kwaBrigadier Kinenda, uma kuwukuthi bekufanele siyophenya-ke sokwenza umsebenzi, siyabuya-ke sesizomtshela-ke, kodwa yena-ke akabuyi aze kuthina-ke azositshela, ngoba bakhona-ke asebenza ngaphansi kwabo. Mhlampe uyaya kubona-ke ayobanikeza umbiko ukuthi kwenzekeni.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer. Let's move forward. There is evidence which was laid before this court regarding the warrant of arrest that was issued against Ms. Kelly Khumalo. Do you remember that part of evidence?
My Lord, I don't.
Angibukhumbuli lobo bufakazi lobo mayelana nencwadi-ke egunyazisa ukuboshwa kwakhe uMs. Kelly Khumalo.
Are you aware? Do you know if there is any warrant of arrest that was issued against Ms. Kelly Khumalo in this docket 636? Or not?
As a court, please, I think issued is not the correct word. I think Brigadier Kinenda did say there's a draft application.
That's what Gininda said. Eh?
Yes.
He said the draft is in the docket, if I recall the evidence.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you for correction. Are you aware of that?
Of the draft,
Yes.
the application for the warrant.
Yes.
Yes, I am aware, my lord, because I was briefed by Brigadier Gininda.
igama ke sithi hayi ukuthi ikhishiwe noma yakhishwa ke lencwadi kodwa sikhona ke isicelo esiyingxenye ke yedokote yeba ke ngiyakwazi lokho ukuthi khona ke isicelo sikhona ke mala ke nencwadi yokuboshwa kwakhe uMskeli Khumalo uBrigadier Gininda wangazisake ngalokho.
Are you aware also why that application for that warrant of arrest has not been authorized against Ms. Kelly Khumalo?
My lord, I am not aware.
Angazi ke ukuthi kungani ke ukuthi ke sengeka sayindwa ukuthi ke leyo ncwadi ke ayisetshenziswe ke ngokuboshwa kwakhe uMskeli Khumalo.
Okay. There is also evidence which was tendered by Colonel Steyn in this case of the communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli. I'm waiting for the interpretation.
I'm waiting for the witness to press that.
But the question is the question complete?
I'm waiting for the interpretation. There is evidence before this court which was tendered by Colonel Steyn regarding the communication between the cell phone number alleged to have been used by Ms. Kelly Khumalo and the cell phone number alleged to be linked with Mr. Ntuli in this case. It's a statement. You remember?
I'll interpret it.
The evidence. My lord, I'm not aware.
Kunobufakazi ke bakhe uKolonel Steyn lana ke phambi kwale nkantolo ukuthi kwakunokuxhumana okwakukhona phakathi kwakhe uMskeli Khumalo kanye nomnumzana uNtuli angikwazi mina lokho.
The State Counsel, Mr. Baloyi, when he was leading the examination in chief to Lieutenant Colonel House, he referred the witness to the same communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli in this matter. Did you hear that when Mr. Baloyi was putting that to the witness?
I did not hear that, my lord.
Umshushisi ke kulona lecala uadvocate uBaloyi uma ebuza ke noma ehloma uKolonel House ngemibuzo ke ukhulume ngayo ke noma ke ekhuluma ngabo lobo bufakazi lobo buka Colonel Steyn obabusho ukuthi kwakunokuxhumana kwakukhona phakathi kwaMskeli Khumalo noMr Ntuli angikuzwanga mina lokho.
If, for argument's sake, it will be proved or it can be said that there was a communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli, is there an offense there? According to your knowledge as part of the investigating team in this case?
My lord, I have no comment.
Uma ngempela ke sekungaveza ke noma sekungatshengiswa ke ukuthi ngempela bakhona ukuxhumana kwakukhona phakathi kwakhe uKelly Khumalo kanye noMr Ntuli ingaba khona yini icala kulokho akukho engaphawula ngakusho lokho.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, you'll correct me if I heard you wrong. Yesterday when we were under cross-examination by my learned friend Mr. Mngomezulu about the content of the confession statement which was made by accused number 1. You said, or you testified and said, you could see that accused number 1 was misleading in that confession. Did I hear correctly, or maybe you can correct me, what exactly did you say regarding the confession statement?
My lord, I did not say I could see.
Okay. Correct me, what did you say?
I said he was misleading us based on the confession, because after the confession was obtained, my lord, from him, then we got a briefing to say this is what he said. Let's follow up on this information.
Uzosho ke uma ngakuzwanga kahle ke izolo uma usihlonywa imibuzo uyena uMr Mgomezulu uthe wabona ke ukuthi umangalo lokuqala ke uyanikhohlisa ke ngaloko akusho cha angishongo ukuthi ngabona ngathi ke emuva kokuthi esegonyulekileke sase sahlanganiswa ke siyatshelwa ke kwathiwa ke asilandelele lokho ke akushilo khona lapho kusestatement.
And my lord, I can verify that by saying upon following the people which he has included, my lord, on his confession, it was discovered that those people were in prison. So you can draw a conclusion to say it was misleading.
Ngempela ke sase siyalandelela ke lokho esikutshelwe noma lokho akushilo yena ke kwistatement sakhe sokugonyuluka kwatholakala ukuthi labo bantu labo abashilo lapho kwistatement sakhe babesejela noma beboshiwe ngaleso sikhathi yila khona ke manje usungahlanganisela khona ke wena ke ukuthi lo muntu lona ebengakhuluma iqiniso.
Okay, so is it your evidence that the statement made by accused number 1 is misleading before this court?
The confession?
Yes, the confession. I'm talking about confession, sorry.
My lord,
it's misleading. The confession made by accused number 1 is misleading. That is before this court.
My lord, I said...
Yeah, we are all aware.
It was also traversed yesterday. The witness said it's confined just to those two names.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the evidence. Now it has been put to her that the whole confession.
According to your understanding, you know the facts as per the indictment in this case. Am I correct? I mean the facts, I mean the allegations to say on or about the accused killed the deceased in this matter.
My lord, I know, my lord, the date of the incident, but I don't want to be confined, my lord, to answer like of what is contained, the whole information that is contained on the indictment, because I will make an error. So I cannot, you can't put me in a situation to say I must agree to say, yes, I know.
Angithi uyazazi ke insolo ngoba njengoba sibhaliwe sikhona ke bidokotela mala nekhaya ukuthi ngelanga elithile kwenzeka lokhu yebo ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke ilanga lo kodwa angeke manje usuthi ke angifanele nje ngibheke kulokho ngoba ke mhlawumbe angifuni ukuthi ngingenza iphutha.
Okay, I'll just repeat it for you. I'll just say it to you. Let me unpack what the allegations are before this court. It is alleged that the accused before this court, on or about the 26th day of October 2014, they killed the deceased in this matter. That is what is contained in the indictment. Do you understand now?
I understand, my lord.
Insolo ke uma ngingathi nje kafushane ngikutshele zona ke ukuthi ke ukusolwa ngokuthi abamangalelwa laba abaphambi kwale nkantolo ba nge-26 lazo i-26 noma ke ngaleso sikhathi leso sange-26 October 2014 babulala yena ke umufi kule cala leli.
Okay, that's the indictment. And then the statement made by the accused number 1 says the deceased was killed by other people other than people mentioned in the indictment. Am I correct?
My lord, can you get the indictment? And further, my lord, I'm not the one I'm not the one, my lord, who gave out or given the investigating officer the indictment. I'm not the one who issued. I'm not the one who issued the indictment. So I'm not in a position, my lord, to comment about the indictment.
Bese kuthi ke manje ke istatement sakhe ke yena umsolo wokuqala sikhuluma ngabanye abantu engasibona laba abahlezi lapha akusimina ke umphenyi ke noma nje ngithi makuspota kumphenyi owakhipha ke incwadi lena ke abathweswa ngayo amacala abebiza ngokuthi phecelezi ke indictment.
Okay, maybe let me move away from the indictment. Let's remove the indictment. You were tasked as the member of the SAPS to investigate the people who killed the deceased in this matter on or about the 24th of October 2014. 26 October 2014. That's the date of the deceased in this matter in which you were allocated or appointed as the investigating officer. Am I correct? The date of the incident in this case that you are dealing with.
I was appointed, you are saying I was tasked to investigate?
Yeah, tasked or appointed, whatever, but you were appointed to deal with this matter wherein the deceased was killed in October
That's correct.
2014.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi asinikezwa lo msebenzi lowo-ke ophenya-ke ukuthi obanike bani noma obanike ababulala-ke umufi ngaleli langa leli lange-26 zika-October 2014.
Then you investigated the case, and as a result of your investigation, the accused before this court were arrested.
That's correct, my lord.
Sasa siyaphenya-ke kuphenyo lwethu-ke kwase abamangalelwa laba abahlezi enkantolo-ke manje bayaboshwa.
However, we've got another evidence in the statement made by accused number 1 which refers to other people who are not the accused before this court.
I hear you.
Kodwa-ke sinabanye abantu abashiwoyo-ke kwistatement sakhe ummangalelo wokuqala engasibona-ke abamangalelo abaphambi kwale nkantolo. Ngiyakuzwa.
And we've got a person whose application draft for warrant of arrest is still pending since you investigated and submitted it in the NPA, that one of Ms. Kelly Kumalo, who is not before this court.
My lord, I cannot comment on that.
Siphinde futhi-ke sibe nalesi sicelo-ke la amaphoyisa enze isicelo khona-ke kwabashushisayo ukuthi kunale ncwadi esiyifakayo-ke yokuthi-ke kugunyazisweke noma sinikezweke ivume yokuyobopha-ke uKelly Khumalo, kodwa-ke engakasayindwa-ke ngeshwa-ke akukho engakusho lapho.
Okay, no problem. And we have another third set of a case docket of 375 referring to other suspects which are not before this court.
I hear you.
Siphinde futhi sibe nelinye idokodoke eliwu-375 elinabasolwa-ke abangekho phambi kwale nkantolo. Ngiyakuzwa.
Okay. And we have the evidence which has been tendered before this court to say the accused before this court have been communicating each other. However, we have not, you as the investigating team, you have not filed the Section 205 records regarding those cell phone numbers.
My lord, when it comes to the Section 205, my lord, and other things, my lord, which I cannot comment on, my lord, I think, Counsel, you can put that question to the lead investigating officer.
Siphinde futhi-ke sibe nalobufakazi-ke obukhona-ke phambi kwale nkantolo obuthi-ke kwakunokuxhumana kwakukhona-ke phakathi kwabo abamangalela phambi kwenkantolo, kodwa-ke nina-ke ningamaphoyisa-ke lawo lezo yicelo lezo-ke noma abizwa ngokuthi i-Section 205 abukho-ke noma abukho labo bufakazi lobo okuphathelene nalokho-ke imininingwane ngomakhalekhukhwini. Ngicabanga ukuthi lowo mbuzo lowo usungawuhloma kuyona-ke ohola ithimba labaphenyi.
Thank you very much. We'll wait and hear which other evidence does you as the investigating team have against the accused before this court. Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Yeah. What do we do, Mr. Baloyi?
Few points in re-examination, my lord.
I'm still waiting for Mr. Miss.
Oh, Mr. Nisi. Well, in that case, my lord, we'll then have to stand down until, I think he said to be here tomorrow.
Oh, Mr. Nseki, what are you saying?
Yeah, my lord, I confirm that Mr. Nisi said he will be here tomorrow.
Next time, and it's not me saying that, it's the law. When you come to court and you're saying you're appearing in the stead of your leader, it means you are going to do what your leader would have done.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Just that I'm being very lenient. Another judge would say, no, do you have questions, sir? We are appearing on behalf of accused number 3. If you don't have questions, that's it. It passes. Because the assumption is you know what this witness has said. You know what the version of your client with Mr. Nisi has said. So you are capable of cross-examining on that. You won't come to court and just sit.
That's
And
correct. That's correct.
Are you with me?
That's
It
correct.
must make sense.
Yes, that's correct.
Does it not?
It does not.
And I'm not excoriating you. I'm just saying that should be the procedure. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So we'll wait for Mr. Nisi, then tomorrow is it? Yeah.
Tomorrow, my lord.
Sorry. May I address the court? My lord, when I took over from the date in which I indicated to the court that I'll be representing accused number 1, I requested my colleague Mr. Balwe to furnish me with the 205 for the people that were inside the house, at Komalo's house. Since then, I haven't received those Section 205s.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Mruish.
I'm just placing it on record because I should make a follow-up on my request.
Yeah, you're right. What is your response, sir?
That forms part of the disc that was handed to the defense, but we have since asked the expert from Vodacom just to isolate those numbers, and she has undertaken.
Individual numbers of all the people who were
Yes.
in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Bese manje ngoba engekho-ke u-advocate umnisi kuyacela-ke ukuthi ngoba umshushu sebe sekulungeleke ukuthi angaqhubeka-ke, kodwa kuyacela ukuthi asilinde kuze kube kusasa-ke uma u-advocate umnisi ekhona-ke, kodwa-ke lokho akwenzelanga ngaphandle kokuthi-ke ijaji-ke limtshele-ke u-advocate umnyeke okuyena-ke omele u-advocate umnisi ukuthi-ke uma bekuwumunye umehluleli bengekavumeleke lokho, ngoba uma ethi-ke uzomela u-advocate umnisi bekufanele ukuthi-ke unayo imibuzo anayo, kodwa-ke ijaji sekuzovunyelwa-ke ukuthi silinde kuze kube kusasa abe khona u-advocate umnisi.
Are you available tomorrow, man?
I am available, my lord.
Okay. Okay, tomorrow then at 10.